Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in a resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, allow your eyelids to close. And with your eyelids closed, notice that as you exhale, feelings of tension can leave your body. Breathing in and breathing out. And as you do so, that's it. Adjust your body in a way for you to naturally feel more relaxed. As you breathe in, imagine breathing in a vibrant color that represents resourceful relaxation. Feel that energy going in through your nose, filling your lungs with a resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, notice that the color that leaves your body is darker, representing the tension, stress, any anxiety leaving your body in your outward breath, enabling you to go deeper and deeper, relaxed now. As your body relaxes, notice that as you breathe in, the breath is deeper than it normally is, activating your diaphragm. And as you exhale, that it is slower and longer, and the exhale elongates, enabling more of that tension to leave your body. Eyelids getting heavier and heavier. Any muscle tension in your neck and shoulders just feels like it's melting away. Allow the muscles in your forehead and your jaw just to let go of that tension now. Arms heavier, legs heavier, perhaps even noticing a tingling sensation in your fingers or toes, enabling you to go deeper and deeper. As your body relaxes, your mind becomes more active. I want you to think back to the end of a relationship. Perhaps 5 minutes, an hour, a day, a week after an important relationship. I want you to get a sense that you're on your own, but you remember where you were in that time frame after that relationship had ended. And when you can recall where you were at that point in time, just let me know by nodding your head. I want you to get a sense that you're in that body, not your current body, but that body, remembering what you were remembering at the time, feeling how you felt back then. Maybe you can even remember what you were wearing, where you were. I want you to get a sense that the end of a relationship is the end of one chapter and not yet the beginning of a new chapter. And I want you to imagine that you are wherever you were standing up. And I want you to imagine that you have 2 empty suitcases, one in each hand. You can imagine feeling the lightness of those empty suitcases. And if you can imagine holding 2 empty suitcases, one in each hand, and just the lightness of those empty suitcases, let me know by nodding your head. Notice the color of them, the material of them, but notice how light they feel. And we're going to fill those bags with emotions that you don't need anymore. I want you to recall how you felt when it came to sadness. Whenever something is lost that is valuable, sadness is a natural human reaction. And back then, at the end of that relationship, I want you to scan your body for where you feel sadness, feeling a sense of loss, feeling a sense of what could have been or never be. Notice where in your body you feel that sadness. And then imagine that that feeling of sadness is moving from that location down your arms into the suitcases. And you're starting to fill the suitcases with the weight of the emotion of this sadness. Notice the bags are getting heavier. You can feel, as the sadness leaves your body and enters the cases, the weight of those cases increase. I want you to scan your body now for any feelings of rejection. It may or may not be appropriate, but scan your body just in case. Sometimes if a relationship ends, and it wasn't your choice to end that relationship, it's natural to have questions inside your mind that said, what did I do? What could I have done differently? And if there's any feelings of rejection, just notice where they are in your body. Perhaps a different location to where the sadness was. And move them from you into the cases. And the suitcases get heavier and heavier. I want you to now scan your body for any feelings of anger. Anger doesn't have to be rage. Anger can just be a natural sensation if an unconscious rule is broken, if there feels like there's a lack of fairness, if there's a feeling that you weren't treated in a proper or respectful way. And if you can feel any feelings of anger or perhaps even disrespect, just let me know by nodding your head. And I want you to notice where you feel that. Feelings of anger tend to be in a different location. I want you to amplify those feelings, really notice how powerful they are. And also realize that it's not useful to hold on to this emotion. The purpose of anger is that if a rule is broken, that you know what that rule is. It helps to have more clarity on your boundaries, what your values are. I want you to get a sense that you can hold on to the insight of that anger, of that disrespect, without holding on to the anger anymore. Take the wisdom, take the knowledge, take the lessons, take the learning, but allow the anger to flow from you down your arms into the suitcases, and notice just how heavy those suitcases are feeling. They were empty and they're not empty anymore. They're filled with sadness, rejection, anger, or disrespect. And when it feels that those emotions are no longer in you and they're in your suitcases, just let me know by nodding your head. And now I want you to scan your body for regret. Regret is an interesting, unusual emotion. Regret is there to look backwards and think, what could I have done differently? There is so much wisdom in regret. Regret has the ability for you to make so much better choices in the future, because for regret to be there, it means that you had influence over the things that, knowing what you now know, you would have preferred to have done something different. wouldn't it be amazing if you can tap into that insight, that wisdom, that knowledge, that could be used for your present and your future without holding on to the feeling of regret, that niggling, gnawing feeling that doesn't serve you anymore. And in fact, when you take the lesson from the moment, the feeling doesn't need to be there anymore. So extract that value, take that lesson, realize that perhaps if you had a time machine that you could have done things differently. And as you realize what those significant things are, allow the feeling of regret to flow from wherever it's flowing down your arms into the suitcases, enabling them to feel heavier and heavier and heavier as it's filled with sadness, rejection, anger, disrespect, regret. And now one final emotion let's look for. I want you to scan your body for any feelings of guilt. And for guilt to be there, it means you're human. It means you're empathetic and kind and caring. The people that can leave a relationship, even if they contributed to the end of that relationship with no guilt whatsoever, are sociopaths and psychopaths. So if you're feeling any guilt, it means you're kind and caring and human. Because in order to feel guilt, there has to be a sense of personal responsibility. It has to be there, because otherwise, why are you feeling guilty? And that means that when you know better, you can do better. The purpose of guilt is to raise your standards, or to realize that the standards weren't fair or reasonable to begin with. Whatever it is, there's a lesson there for you to extract the value from. And let's say that it was something that you did, that knowing what you now know, you'd rather that you didn't do that thing. What if that enables you to hold yourself to a higher standard, to give yourself new rules of conduct, ways of living that means that you won't break your own rules in the future? Then guilt has served its purpose. So allow yourself to take those feelings of guilt, extract the wisdom, the insight, the lessons from them, but you don't have to hold on to the feelings anymore. Allow those feelings of guilt to move from you down your arms into the suitcases, and notice the suitcases are feeling so heavy now. Both of them so heavy. Perhaps you're feeling an ache in your fingers. In fact, grip your hands like you're holding the handles of a suitcase, one in each hand, imagining how heavy those suitcases are as you're holding on to all of that sadness, rejection, anger, disrespect, regret, and guilt, holding on to all of that, realizing that what would happen if you held on to all of that weight and carried that into your next relationship? Is it fair that your next partner has to deal with your sadness, your sensitivity of feeling rejected? What if they experience echoes of your anger that they didn't deserve? And then it occurs to you that you can't bring this baggage into another relationship. You have to let it go. In fact, I will count down from 5 to 1, and when I arrive at 1, you will release your hands. Imagine the suitcases dropping as you let go of all of this baggage, starting to count 5, feeling the heaviness of those suitcases. 4, appreciating how much weight you've been carrying. 3, accepting that you've extracted the lessons, the wisdom, the insight from what's happened, knowing that there's still more to learn perhaps, but you don't have to hold on to the emotions anymore. 2, really feeling the weight and realizing it doesn't serve you to bring this into any future relationships. And then 1, open your hands, feel that you're letting go of the weight of that baggage, and then take 5 steps forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, turn around, see the bags are there. And then just in the power of your imagination, imagine that you're making those bags evaporate. Maybe turn them into a billion pieces, fragments of dust, and then just see them disappear. Realizing that you've held on to all of the value from those emotions without needing to carry the weight anymore. But the law of nature is that energy can't be created or destroyed. It has to just transform, move from one form to a new form. And I want you to imagine that what you've lost in all of that sadness, rejection, anger, regret, and guilt, you're now replacing with feelings of gratitude. I want you to recall what you were grateful for in that relationship. The moments that you would have never experienced had you not been in that relationship. Moments of connection, moments of joy. Feel that gratitude growing inside you as you realize that good things can happen even in relationships that didn't last. Allow that gratitude to grow and resonate within you. And then also add to that wisdom. You're wiser now than before this relationship. In fact, in life you either win or you learn, and if this relationship didn't end the way you wanted it, it means that you've learned valuable lessons because of this relationship. So allow that wisdom and in fact insight to replace that sadness, rejection, anger, regret, and guilt of equal value, so that you're able to resonate at a different frequency, a higher energy. You are wiser and more grateful because of this relationship than if this relationship had never existed. And therefore, you can be grateful for what you've learned, but you can also be grateful for the relationship. Powerful lessons can come from painful experiences. You are wiser. You are more insightful on who you are and what changes you are able to make. And for that, you are grateful. And if your unconscious mind has accepted that you've let go of this baggage and replaced it with something more empowering, more useful, more valuable, let me know by nodding your head. And now it's time to leave that place, but you leave that place, a place of your past, and return to the present, but taking that gratitude, that wisdom, that insight with you, and knowing that all of that baggage, the evaporated, dissipated baggage, is there in the past. I want you to get a sense that you are now back in your own physical body, firmly in the present. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. As I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you, you will awaken feeling resourceful, grateful, and wiser. Starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.